Okay. Well, hello there. This is the report for March 2025 of the development progress of the OS, my personal operating system. Well, it's actually not an OS. I made a video about that. You can check it out. I'm essentially making my own desktop environment that is 100% customizable. I'm currently prototyping using Electron. And as I said, you can learn more about this project on my previous video. But on this video, I just want to show you what I've been working on during the last month. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the old version of this desktop environment prototype before it was even called OM. So this is the older version, and we have the cursor here with the focus and all that. And zoom is kind of funky because we're using native zoom, the browser zoom, and I'm doing a bunch of hacks to get Electron to cooperate. But yeah, it's not great. I mean, performance is nice because it doesn't have to. So like when you use CSS transforms, if you use like a translate and a scale transform, CSS transform, when you have if you have pretty large elements that cover a big area, like if I was gonna, for example, make a pretty large browser window like this one, right? Okay, let's resize. Like this would pretty much throw an error and say something like, "Oh, you're running out of memory," or something like that. So by using the native zoom, the browser, in this case Electron, knows what to do, and so there's no problem having this here. So yeah, it has a lot of other problems. The architecture for this project sucks. I explain why on another video that I have. Anyways, this is just like a recap on where things are at. And so let me now show you once again this window here. And it looks kind of the same, but it's not the same at all. And the zoom is different, but I'll show you that later. And so yeah, let me show you the new architecture for this project. So the way it's set up currently is in a way that you basically don't need any external dependencies other than Electron and Azar. I mean, of course you can have external dependencies, but those are optional. You do not need a bundler to get this running. That means that if you download a precompiled binary for your operating system, then you're essentially going to get like your executable and these two folders, which is the system and the user folders. The system it has access to the system. This is essentially the Electron or the browser backend. So yeah, you have your normal Electron context, and you have some libraries. I do have some external libraries that I have exported using Bun. And so this is a TypeScript compiler. And the reason why this is there is it's because I have another project that I'm working on that has this same architecture, and so that's where this comes from, but I'm actually not using it today. And for OM, the same applies for the WebSockets library here. So yeah, those are external dependencies, but you do not need a bundler to use them. So, and I have no injections, but this is where the client-side code injection would be at. There's a specific reason for this, but I'm not going to jump into that right now. Maybe later when I actually have an example for this. So then we have the modules, and this is when, like, if you download a module that you found online, or you're writing your own module and you want to share it with others, this is where you would put a system module. And the way that it works, or the way that I'm organizing them, is you can think of them as exports, as like system calls that you can call from the front end, and you can do that from this file called bridge. This __ system is really just the Electron bridge. So you're essentially just invoking those, and the format is so that you have the module name dot and then the thing that you want to invoke, or the event that you want to listen to, as shown here. And so this makes it very easy, because then your preload.js file is very simple. It's just, you just have two functions here essentially. And so yeah, I mean, for example, here, this one, if you run this one from the client, you're able to run a shell command, like, I don't know, like list files or whatever, like whatever's available on your system. And this is very helpful, because it's just very helpful to prototype fast things. Like, instead of like writing some like code that's gonna access a file system and it's gonna do a bunch of stuff. Like, if you already know the bash command to do whatever you want to do, like, you might as well just call it. But anyways, so yeah, I have all these modules here, and here the window module, which we're loading here. We have a special treatment here because we need to create an initial window for the home. And if we open this, yeah, it just creates it creates a window with the background and the preload and all this, and yeah, blah blah blah. As you see, I'm not adding the Electron context. So yeah, that's why we have the bridge, because I just feel like that's much more transparent. Like, you see what you're importing. But yeah, this essentially loads a file. You give it a space name, and then it's gonna look in this folder, in the userland folder. This package.json has no dependencies, just just defines a package, so Electron knows how to deal with it. And yeah, on the client side, we have this config folder which has CSS files for the themes. Like, this is the default theme, Ohm. You have assets, fonts, and all these other things. All this project is very vanilla. Everything is designed in a way that is as vanilla as possible. And for the theme, I'm using Tailwind, because I like using Tailwind, but I don't like using bundlers, as I said. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit distracted here. So when you open up this, when you run the executable, it's gonna load this folder for the Electron side, and then it's gonna load this for the front end side. And the entry point is gonna be always a space. In this case, the default entry point on a cold boot is home. And this HTML file is very simple. This is where you say which theme you're gonna use, and where you define the entry point, which in this case it's this main.js file. And if we look at the main.js file, you see we are using van.js, and we're just creating the main element, HTML element, with a status var that you saw already. We can open this, and this is being treated as a module. So we have under modules, same way that we have them here. If you want to install a new module, you just add a folder, and it's going to have a bunch of files in there. You organize them the way that you need them. In this case, this status var component is part of the module. So then, yeah, we just create that UI. We have an icon, and we have button. I'm going to be providing a lot of base UI components. And the general philosophy on this project is that everything will be as vanilla as possible. And with the least overhead that we can have. Like this icon is not even a component. Like it's just a fake icon tag that has some attributes, some HTML attributes, and that's it. And then the theme handles the CSS. Like this is how we manage variants and all that. Like it's that easy. Anyways, so yeah, this is the entry point. This is where we load everything. And so after we mount the space, we wait for it to mount. This is what's happening here. You know, we wait for this to mount, and then we initialize the desktop. Now, this is also a module, and this is one of the most important modules here because this is what handles the canvas logic, like the infinite canvas style desktop. And this has all the controls, and it's a pretty large file. It does a lot of things, and but yeah. So I wonder if you can hear the banana man. Anyways, so yeah, this is the entry point, and so you essentially load this website, and this is all here. And as you see, I have this Entropic library as well, and here we have Van.js. I love Van.js, man. I just really love it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The reason why I set it up this way is because I want this to be very transparent and easy to customize. Like if you want, you could just install this and customize it with Notepad or Vim or whatever. Like you don't need, you just need to be able to edit the text, and that's it. Nothing else. So now that I went through the architecture, I'm gonna do a little demo here. So here, as you can see, like the controls are way smoother than the original one. So let's go back here. If I try to do the same, like wow, look how funky this is. And yeah, this is way smoother. And the way that I'm achieving the way that I made this possible is we're still using native scroll. So like this is a native scroll bar, but the zooming is handled with CSS. So this kind of like has the best of both worlds. It's not as performant as the native zoom, but because we're not translating it and doing a bunch of math, and then just like essentially just recalculating the whole texture on panning, on like every time we move, this significantly improves performance. So I mean, now that I'm recording the screen, I'm actually like curious to see like how this is gonna behave, right? But okay, so this here is a web view. No, sorry. This is actually the video. This is just a video tag that's laying around. So now let me just create a bunch more. Yeah. Yeah, that was a mess. But as you can see, yeah, that wasn't too bad. I want to fix something real quick for the demo that I didn't realize that I'm using this thing here. So I'm gonna change this real quick. Okay, let's do this again. Because I want to see like here on the center. So let's create a bunch of them again. Oh, wrong command. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of videos. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. Now this here is actually a web view. So let's do the same test, but with web views now. Oh, what is this? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a funny bug. I had not seen that one. Wow. Oh, that's new. Anyways, let's go. This is way slower. From a bunch of web views. Yeah, this is quite super buggy now. Anyways, yeah, that was the stress test. Oh shit, I forgot my outline. Oh wait, I didn't make a backup of it. Okay, well, whatever. I have some sticky notes here. But yeah, so we covered the old canvas. We also covered the new architecture, whatever. And then we also have the stress test. And finally, I think this was it. I don't know. I guess I'll find out after I watch the video if I missed something. But the other thing that I worked on is the wallpaper or the background, the canvas background. And well, we have this cat right now on this notepad. I mean, on this like sheet thing. And before we also had backgrounds like this, but in this case it's being rendered by CSS and it's just a background tile. Now here, this is a canvas. This is a WebGL canvas. What that means is that you can use shaders. And so let me inspect this real quick so you see what I mean. So yeah, this is being rendered by a canvas. And what the cool thing about this is that if you have essentially shaders for this, that means that you could render all sorts of effects for whatever is below the cards. We can essentially pass all of the applets here as rects to the shader, and it could, for example, render the shadows. Although that wouldn't be ideal. Oh, shut up. That wouldn't be ideal, but oh wait, am I using my phone to record? No. I hope not. Oh no, let's see. Well, it looks okay here, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, like imagine passing these things to the shader, and then like we're just rendering one that's below, right? Like all of the cards are rendered on top of it. But say that we render another one above it, right? So we have two layers, a background and a foreground. That way you can render pretty much shadows in a very custom way if you want. You could add a lot of post-processing, although you wouldn't have access to the buffer of each applet, but you could add some overlays for interesting stuff. You could make the background be animated in some way, like if it's grass and then you move this and then it kind of like shows the grass or something, or like you can see the pressure. Oh man, what the heck? Yeah, it's not perfect as you can see. I'm not handling all the edge cases yet. The other one is more stable in that regard. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting to be able to have a background here. I mean, canvas as a background. Because yeah, I mean, that just opens a whole world of possibilities. You could also just use a normal CSS background. So that's not a problem either. If you want to use CSS, and then that's fine. But yeah, what else? That's basically it for what I did this month. This is a big refactor. It took me some time to kind of like wrap my head around all the ideas that I wanted to have here. But yeah, I mean, this is way more manageable. Like being able to create applets like this is way cooler. Like the sticky one, for example. Like look how much nice, how better looking this is compared to the ugly modules that we used to have, like notebook paper. Like look at this thing. I mean, it's short, but yeah, it's like dependencies are declared in a weird way, and like yeah. I mean, this was made in this particular format for other reasons that no longer apply. Yeah, I mean, this is also not how you would add events. Like I mean, like shortcuts. This is not how you would do it. But just for the demo, I just set that up really quickly, and but yeah, I mean, look how nice this is. Like like this is nice to read. You import your stuff, you define your tags, you you define your constants. I added this global style sheet, so you can see your styles right here on the same applet file, or you could have it external. Like you can do it however you want. And yeah, I mean, you just export the function to add a sticky in case you want to call it from outside, and then this just works. Like yeah, I mean, look how nice this is. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I want to be posting more progress on this. But yeah, I'm actually very excited to show more cool stuff and get to the point where I start bringing the other things that I have here, like this cursor that follows you and helps you with managing focus, or like displaying focus, and like like having all these cool things like the wheel here. Yeah, I'm excited about doing that. But that's the thing that I'm most excited about is actually it's actually doing running this on Linux. Well, I already tried that, but running this on Linux and having a way to stream the window buffers and then forwarding the input from here to those windows. So essentially writing a window manager backend. Well, it's kind of like a window manager / window compositor. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I've been writing some notes about how to achieve that, and like I can't wait to get that going. Like once I have my applets and my window applet, which would be one of these things that shows the buffer of a native program running elsewhere. That's pretty much everything that I need. I mean, of course, then I also have like the other things that I want to handle, like I want a way of handling media that feels like Arena, and then like I want to experiment with a lot of other ideas. But then that's pretty much it. And at that point, it's just like I'm ready to share this with the world, essentially. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you later next month.